Good evening. Just a quick intro to the video I'm about to put up. It's basically for those that came in after hashtag Shannon's Place. So when I was with AYR, we had a property on the front side of Beechmont Mountain where it's pretty much the closest I came to, at the very least, visual contact. And over the course of this video and the next, I'll be explaining a bit more into that. But basically, yeah, so this is a property where pretty much anything you can think of, almost, we had. Vocalizations, foot impressions, structures, TPs, rock stacks, glyphs, symbols, tree breaks, ground structures, tree structures, other intricate things that I've never seen anywhere else. So basically, I was going through my phone and doing a bit of a clean out, or meant to be doing a clean out, and I came across a heap of video and photo footage of the area, and I thought, well, instead of just letting it sit here, why not put it into a video or two or three and just showcase what was happening in that area, because it was incredible. And for those people that do remember that hashtag Shannon's Place, you will also remember just the incredible finds, the incredible experiences that we had in this area. Again, the closest I've come to some form of at least visual contact. Sorry. As I said, it was on private property. It was just incredible. That's all I can say. Even hearing them talk between themselves, even that was incredible. For 2 hours we sat there. Shannon was in the house. I was across the road because he's up in the mountains. I was across the road because I thought they'd be crossing over from the creek across the road, which goes into Cascades and then down into Claggerbar. So I thought, I'm going to set up here with the thermal camera and see if I can catch them crossing the road. I didn't, unfortunately, but I had a high position. Shannon had a level horizontal position. So distance, I was probably 60 to 80 metres at absolute most from where they were down, across the road and down in the property. And Shannon was probably 40, 50 metres horizontal across in the house that was on the property, and they were in the area. And yeah, for 2 hours we sat there just in awe, listening to them, from what we know now, after the fact, building structures, building rock stacks, hearing them move around and hearing them talk. And for those that haven't heard the big fellas talk, there is nothing else like it. When you're in the forest and you hear the big fellas talk, you cannot say it's anything else. And those that know, they know. It's often described as samurai chatter, because it sounds like two old Japanese men talking, conversing with each other at a distance. You can hear them, but you don't know what they're saying. Basically, just think it like that. That's pretty damn close to what it sounds like. And I've heard this multiple times, not only here in Beechmont, but I've heard that in Springbrook as well, on multiple occasions, in the thermal location actually. I've heard it up there as well. And I'm not alone, I've few of us have heard it. However, back to the point, I found the photo and video footage on my phone. So I thought, why not? Let's get this out there and let you, the people, enjoy what came of this amazing situation that unfortunately had to end. And also keep in mind, also with my last trek out with Jeremy from Agalud Yowie Research, check him out. Where with my last video, so the last one was, I was with Jeremy, but my last video where I come across a couple of structures, and then when I was out with Jeremy the other weekend, and he came down from Brisbane to check out my areas down here, and we basically worked out that the three structures that I'd already found, and then plus a fourth marker, I guess you'd call it, when Jeremy and I went down into this area up the road, they're all in alignment. So they're potentially on a ley line. So basically an energy line, energy lines that crisscross the earth. And with the hashtag Shannon's Place, it's on a ley line. So just keep that in mind as we delve into 1, 2, 3 or so of these videos. And as we go through, I'll explain more with each video on that kind of stuff and talk about what happened. And just the incredible experiences that came about from this area. And with this area, I mean, like, as a lot of people know, I live on Beechmont Mountain. So this property is off the front of my mountain. People also know that I've had activity off the back of my place. I've cast 17-inch foot impressions off the back of my place. And we've been up here about 10 years. And we've come to realise that Beechmont is just as active as Springbrook. So basically the whole Gold Coast inland has amazing activity in a lot of its locations. Some locations you'd think there would be, but there's not much. But for the most part, Beechmont Mountain, which goes through to Binnaburra, off the back of Beechmont Mountain is O'Reilly's. People will know O'Reilly's as well. And then also you got Tamborine that way and Springbrook that way. So yeah, basically yeah, the whole Gold Coast region is high in activity with the big fellas. Anyway, I'll upload this video and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers. Okay, hello, those are watching. Gary here. So we are just back at hashtag Shannon's Place. So as you may remember, a lot of activity. So we have ongoing communication here at Shannon's Place. This involves marbles, crystals, structures, symbols. Lots of activity, tree breaks, X's, classic tree breaks, including your twist and break. I won't go too close because I don't want to show his house. But we come down through here. So there's a new fresh sapling up here that's been snapped. The girls in the house said they heard some activity about 2 nights ago. We have some track impressions coming through here. We step over this log. Fresh break just there. Now keep in mind, we come in here regularly, so things that are freshly broken, they stand out to us, and we do document this every time we come in. So when something is different like that, we know it's different. Straight away you have an impression just there. That's the heel, arch of the foot comes through here. And interestingly, what we keep finding in this area, now I know this doesn't convince a lot of people, but you know, it's opinions here and there for myself as well. Now we believe there's to be finger marks. So you got your 4 fingers here, there's some more up here. Now again, if you don't believe this part of it, that's perfectly fine. It sort of correlates with, you know, track impressions, broken stuff, very close to the house, broken saplings, 4 finger marks, 4 finger marks. You know, we have found this in multiple trees in this area. Generally where you would naturally grab a tree to pull yourself up. That's where we're finding these type of impressions on trees, etc. So we come through here. So we get stuff like this. This one's broken. That's not fresh. One here, which is actually that one down there. Now all 3 here, obviously on the camera you're not going to be able to see too much. But face to face, you can make out with track impressions all the way through here. So these breaks here. So this tree here was actually attached, in other words, tied. You can kind of see just there, but it was tied to stop us going down here. So basically this tree here was used to tie this one across the track here, so we couldn't go down that way, which, you know, because we're trying to establish contact and respect, we agreed. Come through here, this one here, broken as well. Again, these aren't fresh ones, these are minimum 2 weeks old. Come through here, got some more slide impressions here. So that's rock on a brick. Now this has all been placed. So this main one here, that was placed, and this one here on top's been, that's fresh. We have an X just there. Now the good thing with this X is, so this one here, the branches are down here. It's snapped up here. The branches are down here. There's a freshly pushed over one here. Again, like there's so much going on here. It just keeps going. One stage, so this plank here was going across the track. I think we pissed one of them off one night, and this plank got launched down the hill, and had some heavy activity not on another night, a week later, and the plank was placed back up here. Obviously not in its original position, but it's back up where it was. Now this corresponds with, on the same night, vocals heard by multiple people of the household. Tree knocks, tree breaks, rock clacking, all your usual signs. And there was a lean-to just here. There was a lean-to just here, but this lean-to's gone. Yeah. I'm going to say lean-to like Garabar. So there's sticks on the ground. We go along. More sticks. The trees like this bent going around. Now, another one here. Now the interesting thing is, like, again, there are track impressions, like just here again, you obviously won't see it on the camera, but just here we have an 18-inch impression heading toward the house. There's another stick here. There's the two tied palms that people may remember. There's a big X marker that people may remember. This one here is not too old, so this has been placed. As you can see, it twists as it goes in. So again, these have been broken. Obviously when this is fresh, these are obviously green. They're snapped and twisted as it goes. Now, so again, there's more track impressions. So this is the location that we've had our contact with marbles, crystals, that kind of thing. So this stack here started off as 4 rocks that I placed with 6 marbles. As time went on, marbles moved. When I say move, they moved uphill. As you know, marbles don't roll uphill. They'll place on top of rocks, on top of logs, on top of rock stacks. Anyway, it progressed to what you see here. This Y here, that's what started it all. There's a little one behind it that I placed back in the day. You have this here. Now this is significant. I'll get to that in a sec. Same as this one here. Now that one right there, that one is the most intriguing part of today's adventure. So with the pink scrunchie, that's my daughter's. A couple of weeks ago we were in here and she wanted to leave them a gift. So she left her pink scrunchie on top of this structure and she announced herself to the area, and that was that. And previous to that, we left a selenite crystal with some bike chain in the shape of a triangle on this little platform here. Those rocks weren't there. It was the selenite, the bike chain, and 2 rocks to signify myself and Shannon. Now, once we came back a week later, the selenite was gone. The bike chain was still there, but these rocks had been placed not by us. Anyway, back to the scrunchie. So what had happened was the scrunchie was placed on top of the structure. Now with the X marker, when we come in last week, the scrunchie was on where they cross. The scrunchie was on top of that, and it was through the bike chain. So it's 3 lengths of a motorcycle chain, but 2 of the links aren't joined, so you can actually stretch it out to a straight line or contort it back to a triangle. So the chain was opened, it was through the scrunchie and then put back into a triangle. So that was last week. And because we find Y symbols all through here, we placed a Y symbol on the ground down here. That's another point we'll get to in a sec. We've come back today, and the scrunchie is now up with this one, still through the chain. And as you can see, what they do is they strip the bark and use that. You use the bark to actually tie around. As you can see, where is it? There. These beans got pretty big fingers, but they're very delicate in what they do. So that's been placed there a week ago. That's a traditional tree break there. This structure here, that's changed. That was going horizontal across there. These leaves here, it's a little bit confusing. As Shannon said, it's like a lettuce that's been in the fridge for too long. We're unsure what's going on with that. If it's been played with, or it's been chewed in the mouth, or we don't know. So it stands out as it's the only thing around here like that. Okay, yeah, so when we come in last week and the scrunchie was with the chain in the X marker, we placed a symbol back here, which is we copied a symbol that they've left, which is 3 sticks in the shape of a triangle, with the base of the triangle having 2 sticks with a marble inside. So we copied that, put that here, and we left a smoky quartz there as well. So as you can see, they've placed this one here now. The smoky quartz is gone, and we now have this one here with this one here. Now, that's awesome in itself, but if we keep going along the trail that they are good at making, we find a little bit more. Now, the Y symbol that we placed last week is no longer there. We have another break here. This horizontal one used to have a rock sitting in it. All these ones have been bent over. They didn't grow like that, they were tied there. Now we go up here. So this is where we actually made the cast of the 14-inch print with the 6 toes. So if we just come up here, we now have this structure here. You hear that? What'd that sound like to you? Yeah, movement.
Yeah. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
The second you stepped up there.
Yeah, like it was going down the hill.
Yeah.
Let's just see if we can see something.
I'm not chasing them.
We'll have a look at that in a sec. Now, again, back to this one. So this Y here, that is actually the Y that we placed down there. So they've used it up here, and this Y here, that was on the ground down there as well. Again, we find Y symbols all through here. So we've got this one here has been placed like that. We have rocks missing from here, which is that one there. We have this lean-to here, and we have that stuck in a tree. Now we did note, like we do have like breaks here and sticks here, more sticks and more sticks. We don't know if this means anything, but it is in a straight line toward the house. You can see here. And these are the trees that I was saying, speaking of before with the claw marks. Got that there, and there's more up here, which we measured these claw marks, if they are claw marks. About 8.5 foot up. Yeah, so we've got this one here, stick in the ground. So again, this is where we actually made the 14-inch cast with the 6 toes. 7 inches across the bridge, 5 inches across the heel. We have a structure in the tree here. This break is old. As you can see, it's growing new shoots. Another fresh stick. We have track impressions up through here, which is the same direction when we made the cast. They were coming up this way. Now this one here, quite thick. That's placed. Another 2 placed here. Tree break. And this basically just keeps going to the point where it's very fantastical. Rock sitting in the tree here, rock on the trail. Right here is actually where we found one of the marbles. So again, there were 6 marbles, and she found one of the marbles right here. And so to get here, you have to go uphill. Rock stack in the tree that's fallen down. That sounds a bit too big for a bush turkey. But as we know, even possums sound like elephants at night. Can you see anything?
No. Did you hear that?
Yeah, it's like a big rock went through the trees.
Oh, I'm not going down there.
Why not? Come on.
No, not their personal space, no way.
Yeah, I get you. So down here is where we found very intricate symbols, rock stacks, X's in trees. Now it's going to sound weird to people, but like with this vine here, there's a small tree behind it. The small tree has been tied to the vine, and when I say tied, I literally mean the thin branches have been tied to this vine. Now we've, in the theory sense, we've tried to ascertain that that's them stopping us because they don't want us going down to that area. Again, with the intricate symbols of sticks, palms woven through trees, rock stacks, X's in trees, quite a lot of stuff. So we've decided to not go down there. So it's worth trying these things out. So if this vine with the tree tied to it is saying please don't go down here, then we'll try that. And surprisingly, once we stopped going down there, we had a lot more activity up here with the rocks and the more symbols and the crystals and the scrunchy, etc. So again, since we stopped going down there, we've had more activity up here. And we're getting a few weird sounds down there that, again, bush turkeys do make a lot of noise. We could obviously be mistaken, but the sounds we've heard since being in here sound a little bit too heavy for a bush turkey. I'll just turn back around and pretend I'm not listening. Okay, so again, a rock stack that fell down. We have this one here. And you see that's tied. They've used palms and sticks to tie it to this tree. Another stick on the ground. And if you follow this up through here, there's actually a track that they've made pushing down through here. Every 2 metres is a stick on the ground. It leads up to more tree breaks and a kangaroo carcass. What does that mean? I have no idea. We sort of wondered if they want us to follow the sticks, which we have, hence where we found the kangaroo carcass. You got a little rock stack right there. So again, look, this is all trying to learn from them. Now, I know people want the money shot, which we've got plenty of locations to try and get the money shot. But with all these symbols and the sharing of gifts, the exchanging of gifts, this particular location, we're trying to learn from them. So trying to learn what the symbols mean. By what do they mean? Is it a number of family members that were here at that particular time? We don't know. So we are trying to learn from this particular area, as opposed to just trying to get the money shot. We have been in here with a thermal camera. The night the night that we got the we made the track cast, we actually sat up on the embankment with the thermal camera for a while, and we didn't get anything. But when we came back a few days later during the daylight, there was an X on the ground exactly where I was sitting. Now the weird thing is, I got the thermal camera, I saw nothing. I was looking all around. We had a pretty good vantage point from where we were sitting. So I have no idea how, but they knew that I was sitting there. But again, we are trying to push for contact in this particular area, trying to create a mutual respect for communication. So we're going to keep on pushing with that. So now we're above the main stage. Fresh 2 breaks there. The rock stack right there. Now again, this is on private property. No public access. And even if it was public access, they've got to have a really hard slog to get through very thick, heavy lantana and wader walls, or they've got to literally walk past Shannon's front door. So again, private property. That is update. So again, this has all been done. This is on the top side of that traditional twist and snap, which is pointing up that way. There's your 2 tied palms, which people would have seen previously. And this big tree here, we were sitting up behind that tree with the thermal camera, so we can see straight down this way, straight down that way, and down that way. Again, we saw nothing, but there was an X marker on the ground exactly where we were sitting. Yeah, behind that tree. Okay, thank you for watching. We're going to keep doing our best to try and make contact here. Again, not looking for the money shot, looking to learn. Sorry about the fuzz, it's not a filter, it's the screen protector over the half over the front camera. Gives me that glow. So yeah, we're trying to make contact here in a peaceful manner. It seems to be progressing more and more as it goes each week. We'll keep going, keep you updated, and we'll go from there. Cheers. Have a good New Year's.